Brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters.
Every day is a new opportunity to hear and learn from God. Let's take this moment to receive His word for today.
Okay, let's just try and unpack this for a moment. Imagine, if you will, finding a source that doesn't just promise you'll, have enough, but actually guarantees complete, abundant provision. Everything you need, exactly when you need it. Always. I mean, what kind of source could even make a claim like that?
Well, what's fascinating is the insight packed into it's incredibly deep. We're doing a deep dive into 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8.
Ah, right. And the core of that verse really speaks straight to this idea of total sufficiency, doesn't it? Let me read it quickly. And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work.
That language is just so striking. All things at all times, having all that you need. It's not, conditional on how things are going or limited to just one part of your life. It really paints this picture of complete, comprehensive supply.
Totally. So our mission for this deep dive then is to really get under the surface. What does this powerful declaration truly mean beyond just the words on the page? And maybe more importantly, how does this idea of God's abundance connect so fundamentally, almost surprisingly, to our actions, specifically to this idea of abounding in every good work?
Well, it's interesting. The context Paul's writing in here, it's actually centered around generous giving. He's encouraging the believers in Corinth about the blessing that flows from contributing cheerfully. But the source material itself makes it pretty clear this principle isn't just about money or financial resources.
Right. And this is where the deep dive part really kicks in, I think. The insight seems to be that the purpose behind God's promised abundance in all things at all times isn't primarily presented for, say, our own personal comfort or security or just hoarding it.
Exactly. Look at the end of the verse again. So that you will abound in every good work. See, the provision itself, it isn't the end goal. It's actually the means to an end. God blesses you abundantly with all that you need, specifically to enable you, to empower you, to pour out into every good work.
Okay, that's a really crucial reframing. That challenges a very common way of thinking about blessings, right? Which might focus more on personal benefit or just feeling comfortable. This verse seems to shift the whole focus from God provides for me to something more like God provides through me.
Yes, precisely. It sets up this sort of divine cycle of grace. He gives abundantly to you, not just so your own needs are met, though they are, but so you actually have an overflow. And that overflow could be time, energy, skills, wisdom, opportunities, connections, and yes, financial resources too. An overflow that can then be channeled into serving others, into advancing good in the world around you.
So the verse isn't just a promise that your needs will be met, period. It's a promise that you'll be fully equipped for the work he calls you to do. It kind of removes the excuse of, oh, I don't have enough to, enough time, enough patience, enough skill, enough money, whatever it is. If God is calling you to a good work, this verse implies he will provide what's needed for you to abound in it.
And understanding that, it really encourages a powerful shifting perspective, doesn't it? Instead of approaching life from, let's say, a mindset of scarcity, always worried about what you lack, you can start operating from a position of abundance, trusting in his provision. It moves you from fear about not having enough to faith that you are equipped. And fundamentally, it shifts you from being primarily self-focused to being service-focused, recognizing the resources entrusted to you are actually fuel for contribution.
Okay, so God's abundant provision isn't just random blessing. It's fundamentally linked to his purpose for you specifically, equipping you to abound in every good work he has lined up for you.
Yeah, understanding this verse really does shift the focus. It moves you, like we said, from thinking about scarcity to embracing abundance, from operating out of fear to living by faith in his supply. And crucially, it shifts you from being centered on yourself to being centered on service and contribution. You're empowered to operate not from a feeling of lack, but genuinely from the overflow of his grace working through you. Which leaves us with maybe a provocative thought for you, the listener, to consider. If the explicit purpose of God's abundant blessing is always so you can abound in good work and give to others, how might that fundamentally change the way you view the resources, the time, or even the opportunities that you have right now, today?